about now?
How about now?
Looking at the mic. There you
There
go.
we go. There's that one. Now the mouse isn't working. Excellent. One thing at a time. Ooh, thrilling.
It just does.
It just does this. Okay, so we've got that. Now, screen capture, I have it. I don't know. Y'all just get to listen to us.
I mean, this is every single one.
Yeah, this is every
I'm
single one.
upset about it, but fine.
Interessante.
No, it's because I tried to make my life easier and it's making it harder.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Technical
get to have
differences.
nice things. So this
Okay. We're working on it. I too will be better after our coffee. Blood type. I have mine going as well. Are we working that? Yeah.
All right, so there's that.
Mouse is also working.
Mouse
Incredible.
is working. Cool. Now what do you need?
I'm being a problem child. I need the screen. I have screen capture. Where do I? Mouse isn't working anymore. Hooray! No, it's fine. It's fine. I can.
It's not fine.
Okay. Very good.
There you go.
Thank you, dear. All right. Pardon the.
You,
I want build. Okay. So I want build apparently. Okay. We just fixed. Here we go. All right. We're going to look at our no copyright long hour-long cafe coffee house jazz. To answer your question, Cherry, before we get too far in, yes, the retrograde does affect you a little bit differently, but we're going to look less at what house your natal Mercury is in, and we're going to look at the house that is Cancer. So what ends up happening is that it'll retrograde in a certain area of the chart. And yes, it can interact with that natal placement, but we're going to focus more on the house that it's in and consider themes of that planet in retrograde. Oops. Well, we're just going to look at this coffee now, I guess. Well, that wasn't my intention. Of the themes in that retrograde, we're going to look at the house that the planet is currently in. So I would ask you, Cherry, what house is Cancer in for you, right? Because you might not have a lot of Cancer natally in your chart, but there is still going to be a house where Cancer is in your chart, and you're still going to have those themes. All right, so I can hear my echo in the other room gently. Let me go close the door just a little bit, one moment, but it's good to know that I'm on. Here I am, my darlings, finally. Sorry about the delay. How is everybody doing? Don't forget to like the stream, everybody, and I'm also saving up. I need like $20 so that May and I can order fancy pastries because I would absolutely murder, not literally, right? But I would absolutely just go wild for a quiche Lorraine from this place. I was showing other people earlier. Let me see if I can find the link. I don't want that window up here. Right. But I want this place so bad. Hang on. I'll show everybody while we're doing this. Blood type knows what I'm talking about. I believe they live right nearby it. Let's look at this place. We're gonna look at this together. Are you ready to look at some pastries together? Happy Sunday, guys. I'm gonna make you want food. And I promise we'll get on to stars after this, but let's look at pastries first. Yeah, we're doing a fundraiser. We need my croissant. Well, not my croissant, my quiche. Where is he? Where's my quiche? My beloved. Those are sweets. Where's my beloved? Desde la Cosita, probably. Yep, here it is. This guy? Possibly my favorite food down here. Possibly my favorite. Cancer in the 6th house, so your Mercury retrograde, you're gonna be like dealing with reviewing like That explains so much now that I'm thinking about it, blood type, just with your health stuff. Anyway, Mercury, you're gonna have communication and stuff revolving around that and any aspects it might be making, right? Anyway, this guy, my favorite thing, right? So, $20 fundraiser for us to get lunch from here. I wish I was kidding, but I want it so bad. How does it taste like? The quiche Lorraine specifically, it's got ham and bacon and Gruyere and Parmesan and onions in there. And it's super creamy. It's super good. The croissants, they're supposedly pretty good too, but full disclosure, croissants aren't my favorite thing, but there are a couple that I'm like, I'd think about it. Which sign is which kind of pastry? That's a good question. That's a good question. They know me that it's dangerously close. Yes, exactly. I just woke up this morning, blood type, and I was like, I could really go for one of those quiche Lorraines. I could go so hard for one of those quiche Lorraines. Anyway, yeah, pick your pastry. We've got signs. Let's see. We'd probably want a sweet and salty for Gemini. I wonder if they have anything like that. What do we think? Who do we think a regular cinnamon roll is? This is just a cinnamon roll. Who's a cinnamon roll? Who's the cinnamon roll of the zodiac? Ascending 1st house, then it comes back around into 12th house. Okay, so then, Cherry, you're going to be like really considering thinking on things about your personal identity in the 1st house, right? The way that you interact with the world, and then the 12th is like your shadow side, or the hidden parts, the secrets and stuff. Yeah, we gotta at least pick your pastry. Aries is the carrot cake. Okay, I could go with that. Willy Bug says a cinnamon roll is... Hello, Ozzy. Pisces can be the cinnamon roll. Okay, that's fair. We're looking at, we're looking at pastries from this restaurant that I'm really craving right now, Ozzy. So I'm doing a silly little fundraiser to ask for people to buy me this quiche Lorraine and also just the rest of lunch. But then, May suggested that we do a challenge of which zodiac sign is which pastry. We have just decided that Pisces are cinnamon rolls. Dolly! Okay, fair. Aquarius should be a savory crepe. Alright, savory crepe. Maybe. We do have some... Yes, but from this, you are right. Is there a croissant that is close enough to a savory crepe? Maybe not, it's all too thick. Aries is a carrot cake. Dolly's a peach. Dolly gets gets their own sign, and it's peach. Cinnamon roll is Pisces. Pisces. We decided Aries was a carrot cake. Orange and poppy seed cake. Who is an orange and poppy seed cake? Who are we thinking orange and Capricorn as an almond croissant, classic and underrated? Yeah, I could see that. That's fair. Or would it just be a regular, like, really good croissant? Scorpio is orange and poppy seed cake. Okay, okay. I could see that. That's not. Is that divisive enough to be a Scorpio, though? I don't know. I'm really thinking about it. Hello everybody, welcome. Don't forget to like. We're playing a game of what we think the different signs are as pastries from this pastry restaurant that I like a lot. Something that's best for dips. I agree with Capricorn being an almond croissant. Virgo, something that's best for dips. Well, Virgo could just be one of the quiches, right? Like, we've got a quiche caprese, we've got a quiche with leek and mushroom and cheese. This is a ham, bacon, and cream cheese, and this looks like, I think this is the one that has corn in it. Oh, you know what? Scorpio could be a croque madame. We've got brioche, so there's your sweet. We've got some ham, some cheese, some bechamel, and Dijon mustard. So like it's complex. There's a lot going on, right? Right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited for lunch now. Powerhouse for the rest of the day. Yeah, I feel like Taurus and I guess if we wanted to play into the health nut side of Virgo, they could be an integral yogurt. I don't want to order it, I just want to look at it. But I feel like that's giving them a bad rap. I just want to look at it up close. Fine, whatever. Where's the ghosty? I don't know. Things break when I come on to stream. I don't want to hold our breath for anything working. Now do we think that Taurus is a quiche, or do we think that they want just the one of these, like, cream croissant, or croissant with pastry cream and pralines? That feels very indulgent, right? Only lives in the camera view. Ah, okay. So we'll fix that later. But you're welcome. Sorry to make you go through all of that with me. I hope I didn't make everyone too hungry. But I appreciate the game, and if anybody in the Discord later has pastry opinions for the zodiac sign too, that would be a lot of fun. I'm currently working with a friend of mine who is a bartender on some ideas, but I can do the pastry ideas by myself. Check out Saint Germain Bakery too for your quiche. Okay, yeah, I can definitely give it a shot. I'm obsessed with quiche Lorraines now, and here we are. Are they good for me? No, but they're good for my soul. So, all right, hello everybody, welcome. I did not intend to start with 15 minutes of talking about pastries, but here we are. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for that. I'm very excited for lunch now. How are we doing after yesterday when the Uranus and Mars conjunction went exact? We also had the Mars and Neptune sextile. I think that kind of buffered things a little bit, made things go a little bit more smoothly. But that was one of the big transits, and we'll still be feeling its energy for a couple of times, right? They're still right on top of each other. We've still got them interacting. Everybody was worried about it for the US, in particular because they are in their Uranus return. I'd love a list of pastry signs, yeah, and I could just do that could be a fun little cookbook that I could make, Miss May. Anyway, so everybody was a little worried about it. How's everything? I mean, Wednesday morning. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know exactly where St. Germain's is, so I would definitely give it a shot, blood type. Thank you for the recommendation. That's incredible. So yeah, we should think about that. I'd really like to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun and like something that I could do for pastries. Anyway, so everybody was a little bit worried about this conjunction yesterday, but we had some things that were happening around it that kind of mitigated things, right? And One way that you can interpret it is I've been talking about this lovely little magical girl sequence that we've been having, all of these really thick blue lines, and this one right here making this kind of bucket shape, right? One way that people have been interpreting it is less that Mars and Uranus was here to just cause chaos, but like Mars was giving this trine a little, or these sextiles a little bit of oomph, right? And we'll keep going through and give these some fuel to keep our magical transformation going. So that is one thing. So everybody doing okay? I know that there was a heat wave that got things canceled. One thing that could have happened was weather patterns and like earthquakes and stuff could have happened, right? Hi Pearl, welcome in. So we've been talking about pastries. I haven't seen anybody going, oh my god, life is awful. So I'm guessing, or I'm hoping, that maybe yesterday wasn't too bad. I will admit I did breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief when I opened up the news today and nothing had exploded. Right? So, how we doing? How's it feeling? This week's got some, let's see. Let me look at it. We've got a couple of things happening this week that are pretty big, but they're not like, it's not like a mile-long list of things. So I am ready to go when everyone else is. All right, magical girl sequence with going from like 250 to 450 in like 3 weeks. Absolutely. Yeah, the heat wave. Yeah, I hear that it was hot. I hear that it was bad. It's very strange to hear about the heat waves up north, and I'm sitting here going through a cold front, and it is barely above freezing. It's a little bit warmer today, though. So, a little warm, but it's damp and chilly and wet. I definitely think you'll hit 500 when you're away on vacay. Probably blood type. We will let you know when that happens, though. It wasn't the best, let's just say. Well, you survived. I'm hearing from you, Zen, so you survived, and I'm proud. No explosions, many fireworks. Those are the acceptable explosions. Heat wave is still bad. Yeah, it looks rough. It's scary, honestly. I don't like it. It feels bad. Like, I love summer. But, feels bad, man. Okay. Oh, we got an ad break going on the Twitch side, so we'll give it just another minute and a half of chit-chat, and then we'll get going. Hey, Doge. Welcome in. You didn't miss much. I was looking at a pastry website. Here, I'll show you too. Let's show Doji the croissanteria real quick that I had a huge craving for, and we did a quick little fundraiser so that May and I could have lunch. I didn't realize they had a smoked salmon croissant. That's so cool. Anyway, so check out all of these. Check out all of these tasty foods. It's so good. You're gonna have to come see us sometime, Doji, and we'll take you. It's so good. But I woke up this morning with a craving for a quiche Lorraine, so I had to tell everybody about it. So now, Doji, what I want to do is get everybody thinking about, is there banana bread? There can be banana bread in my house if you want. I see, they've got the carrot cake, they've got the orange and poppy seed, cake. Alpha Horde pistachio, that's like a cookie, like a sandwich cookie with pistachio filling. Alpha Hordes are like the local specialty cookie down here between Argentina and Uruguay. This isn't oatmeal cookie, 3-chip tort, chocolate tart. This is 1,000 layers. I don't see a banana bread here, but I do know how to make them. Twitch did give me the 5-minute warning. Twitch did give me the 5-minute warning. If you want, Willie, a banana bread, I can make that happen. I can at least take pictures and visually feed you. Yes, Twitch did give me a 5-minute warning though, Lady Lapine. Don't worry about it, we're good. Alright, so that was yesterday. It was rough, but everybody got through it. We'll still be feeling this conjunction for another day or two, but we should be feeling it waning. There's not so much build up. So I think some of the saving grace for this conjunction, like I said, is that we are making a bunch of positive aspects. There's nothing really negative going on with the Mars interaction at present. We do have a couple of squares happening, right? But it's not involving Mars in particular. You stayed inside yesterday. You were allergic to bananas. That's terrible. Yes. Yes. May was allergic to bananas for a while. I think it's because she ate too many too fast. It looks really good, like the croissant sandwiches. Those are a classic. They are. You're too kind. I do love a good bake, so I'm fine with, yeah. Doji, I was just telling everybody I was thinking about making a Zodiac themed baking book. I think that would be fun, like little recipes. Pudding too, yeah. Yeah. I got to hand Fred an owl. Like a real life owl? What's going on? I want to be handed an owl. Can I just be handed an owl, Ozzy? So today is the 5th. We have Mars now trining Pluto. We've been feeling it for a couple of days, but today is the day it goes exact. You can see 4 degrees and 4 degrees. We are at 46 minutes, 48 minutes, so it was exact, like 2 hours ago, maybe, but it is still exact what I would consider. This trine is confidence overriding fear and effort. No, confidence overriding fear and any effort that you put forth kind of working out, right? It's a few days of kind of like a go-get-'em feeling. Pluto helps Mars get himself a little bit better together and helps him find the target for all of that energy since he's a little bit distractible in Gemini, right? Finds a target for some of that energy rather than letting him stay scattered as he is prone to in Gemini. Hopefully this will help balance some of the upcoming. We have the Sun squaring off with Saturn. We can see that. It goes exact tomorrow. Let's see. So it'll help some of that. This trine can help hard conversations be a little bit easier. You can focus on what you want to achieve. You can cut straight to the point instead of avoiding what you really want to say. It's a good time for negotiation, making an elevator pitch if there's anything that you want to put forward to somebody, or getting like really complex or emotional issues under control without feeling too overwhelmed or emotional about it. Right, you can look at it really pragmatically. You can get through it without necessarily your feelings getting the better of you. Let's see what else we have. So that is today. We'll be feeling it for a good day or two. You have that square, the Sun square Saturn, in your chart? Interesting. Let me know how it hits you in particular. Let's see. So tomorrow. We are on to tomorrow. We have this Sun square Saturn going exact. You can still see we are still feeling some of the bucket. The moon decides to come to play for a little while, right? We're starting to get less exact, but it's still there. Sun square Saturn. That's a square. Oof. It's okay. I've got Saturn opposite Chiron. I think you've seen it, Willie. And I'm just like, why? What is this? Hey, Helly. Welcome. Good to see you. We are on the zodiac or the astrology stuff for the week. This is Lil Lynn driving. I come on Sunday mornings. We are on tomorrow. We have the Sun squaring Saturn. We have Chiron squaring off with Jupiter. The Sun squaring the Saturn is a pressure point, a bit of a reality check. We've got a few of those this week. The Saturn in Aries might force you to look at something that the Sun in Cancer in your chart has been avoiding, right? Like, hey, pay attention, you've been skipping this. We've got deadlines might creep up on you. There might be a comment that someone makes that's a little critical. It might be too blunt, right? It might hurt your feelings. But there's something that happens around this window, a good 2 days around it. So today, tomorrow, the day after, somewhere in there, something might hurt your feelings a little bit. It might interrupt your emotions as they have been, is what I have written. So we want to take a minute to process, feel our feelings if we need to, but we're not going to try to consider it a judgment on our whole person, right? It might cut a bit to the chase, especially with Chiron being activated with Jupiter, right? We've got some room for a hurt feeling or two, but this too shall pass. It is just a thing said in the moment. It is not reflective of you as a person. So things like work, we've got masculine and authority figures, just general leadership issues can be more prominent than they have been recently. And the standards might be high for a few days, a little higher, like for work and for, projects and such. Identity and discipline are at mega odds. They are absolutely at odds. That is a good way to say it. Pluto boosting Mars. Tell me, do you feel do you remember y'all remember in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie that has Davy Jones in it when he goes, "Do you fear death?" So the first time my best friend ever heard it, she heard it, "Do you feel death?" So she just had this really funny way of saying it out of her nose, just, "Do you feel death?" And it was just blah blah blah. It was very funny. Anyway, so we've got the Sun squaring Saturn, Chiron, and Jupiter. They are butting heads a little bit, so there's room for hurt feelings, right? Identity and discipline, like Willie said, are at mega odds right now. It is not ideal, but we've still got enough, and just remember, this too shall pass, right? Let's see. Yeah, so the standards might be a little higher than they have been recently for a few days. It might feel like there's an extra weight, right, on you. It might feel like the struggle is getting you a little discouraged. It might be getting you a little tired, some burnt out, burnout feelings. The goal right now, right, because this is kind of spooky, it's a little annoying, right? It's not to get everything done all at once and burn yourself out at the same time. It might feel like that's the goal, but it's not. The goal right now is to set 1 or 2 goals, like 1 or 2 things that are to be done, and get them done, so that you can remember, no, I am actually pretty okay at whatever it is, right? I'm not I'm not completely inept. Like prove to yourself that you're worthy of being trusted, right? If you get discouraged, yeah, just get 1 or 2 things done and be like, no, actually I got this, right? That is the goal, right? And then on top of that, you'd have those 2 or 3 things done, and they won't be needing to be done anymore. They'll be done breathing down your neck, and that's fun. I was channeling the Squid Man. Heck yeah, you were. Do I blame Chiron for exposing a wound? It's possible, yeah, I could see that. How does this circle thing work? So we have here, on Twitch, someone is asking, this here is our astrology wheel. We have each of our 12 signs. The zodiac starts with Aries down here. If we look at it, how do I say? If we look at it, we can imagine that the world is in this middle circle right here. And what happens is we keep track of all of these little planets, all of these little meteors going around the world, as they do. And the placements of all of these kind of change, but not change, they rotate, right? Because it rotates with the sun. But if we imagine the world right here and all of these here, it shows us what planets are, where which planets are and how they're interacting with each other. That is how this little circle thing works. So, on this graph, exactly, we have the thick blue lines here, or like the thin blue lines. Blue tends to be a more generally considered positive alignment, and then the red ones are generally a little more difficult. So, for further, if we imagine the world here, on this side, when you have your birth chart pulled up, this side will be sunrise. The sun goes this way, and then it sets over here. So when you have your ascendant, if you don't know, for those of you who don't know, your ascendant line is literally where the sky was when you were born, like what was on the easternmost horizon. That is what was ascending when you were born. So we have these squares. Feelings might get hurt, but we're still feeling our magical girl sequence. It will be for the better. How do you know what sign you are? Oh, there is a cheat code. If you go to, here we go. So you see AstroSeek here where I am, Sylvester? Go to AstroSeek, right? And we can go to, they have a free birth chart needle calendar right here. There's a shortcut that Miss May gave me, but I don't have it handy. But if you know what time, what place you were born, just punch all of that into here. And it'll give you your chart, and it will tell you what's where. You will see this little circle thingy that I've been working off, but it will be the circle of the day that you were born. And if you scroll down past it, it will give you information on what is doing what and where. Now, when you are first starting, it will be overwhelming, but take it a step at a time. Do you need the time? Because not even my mom remembers. It won't be perfect if you don't know the time, Sylvester, but if you know the day, you can get a good idea of what's going on. So when you go to that, there is a little thing right here. If you say unknown time, you won't know what your ascendant and your descendant is. There you go, my chart. Yeah, that was the shortcut. If you go to unknown time here, if you don't know what time, it'll just give you the date and where you were born, and you can figure it out from there. You'll be missing a little bit of information, but you'll still be able to get a lot of the gist. Okay, so we are on the 7th. As always, YouTube doesn't like bot messages. Think it's okay. I got it for them. On the 7th, what do we have going on? Okay, here we go. Here's the big. Okay, so right now it says stationary. That little ST right here beside. Oh, that's neat. Huh? Look at this. Neat. Okay, sorry, I didn't know it could do that. Anyway, so we see this little ST beside. Yes. Dolly on the YouTube side says that Sylvester, if you want to, if you have a birth certificate, the time could be written down there. Another person is saying that not knowing your rising is infinite potential. There you go. You could be everything. Willy Bug, yes, that is just what I'm doing right now. Whoa, right? That's so cool. Isn't that neat? Your mom lost it. Yeah, that's okay. Well, when you get a birth certificate, because you might need one in the future, like if you reissue another birth certificate as you need one, right? Go ahead and check the time and I'll give you more exact. But even now, you'll still be able to get a good idea of what was going on when you were born. So, we have this little stationary on July the 7th on Neptune. He will be going retrograde in a matter of hours after that, right? So, stationary just means he's standing still, right? You have to stop before you can go backwards. But eventually he does shift back into retrograde. It is less of a problem in Western astrology than it is in Vedic astrology. Debatable, but it is overcomable. How is that? There's also a certain type of people that can like infer what they might think your birth time might be. I don't have that skill yet though. Anyway, so Neptune is going retrograde. For those of you who are interested, also Tuesday, is July 7th. That is 7/7. I don't necessarily keep up with it, but I did see someone remind me that this is the Sirius portal. It's for like manifestation and working up to the Lionsgate portal, which is 8/8. So heads up, do some research if you'd like to. And I understand it to be good. I just don't know much about it. But we have our boy Neptune here. He is going retrograde, and that is the big news for Tuesday. The fun thing with this is that he is going retrograde on July 7th, so 7/7, and he will be going direct again on 12/12. I don't know how much I buy necessarily into angel numbers, even if you don't think they are a thing. I just like the repeat. It looks nice. It's satisfying. So 7/7 to 12/12, we have Neptune going retrograde. So this is our first retrograde with him staying in Aries. You're 16 fire, 9 earth. If you don't mind telling me, what does that mean? You are very fire heavy. That means that you have a lot of fire type placements. So 16 fire, that's like you have a lot of things in these red friends here. We have Aries, we have Leo, and we have Sagittarius. These are all represented by the element of fire. They are generally very active, a little bit extroverted maybe, or just very, in general, passionate. They all have their different qualities, but overreaching, I would say that those are their, like there's a very can-do attitude to a fire type. Willie told me to do a thing, and while that was apt, she had to tell me what 4/1 meant, and I found a word for self-authority, which I have immediately forgotten. Astrolin. Heck yeah. So, Sylvester, if you have a lot of fire energy, that just means that you have a lot of passion. Earth is generally more grounded, more steady, right? That can be keeping that fire in check to keep it from going too wild, right? Let me delete this. Okay, so this is our first Neptune retrograde with him staying in Aries. He's going from 4 degrees down to 1 degree in Aries. Instead of going and backtracking all the way into Pisces. And during a retrograde, so what this means literally is that when you look into the sky or up to the sky, it looks like the planet is moving backwards just for the way that the orbit works. It's not like logically, it's still just on its orbit, right? But in the Earth sky to the Earth, right, from the Earth up to the sky, it looks like it's going backwards compared to how it looks, right? Of course, Sylvester, I'm happy to help. Don't worry. If someone is lacking passion, I can share some. Heck yeah, Duck. You know what's up. So it literally just looks like it's going backwards. So we call it retrograde. We call it going backwards. And what this means is that the planet, instead of going forward, right, it instead of looking out, it's looking more in, right? So it's a little bit of a retreat. We get a little more reflective, a little more self-aware, right? Instead of just going. So the planet's energy shifts more inwards. It affects the person more rather than the outer, right? This is when folks can reflect on matters related to that planet, where it's at, and what it's interacting with in both the transit chart and the natal chart. Neptune retrograde is a time for Neptunian themes to be under review. So we've got things like dreams, ideals, spirituality and beliefs, intuition, illusion, the metaphorical trust falls, like things like that, all of them. These are all under review with Neptune retrograde. Now, if we work it right, this is a window of the rose-colored glasses coming off a little bit, where we can see through the, like the things that you just see through the lies, see through any BS that people have been giving us, right? Things like that. We can see through it a little more clearly. Maybe you've been telling yourself something, right? And it's like, well, no, actually, that's not how that is, right? So, we want to, during this time, we've got 5 months. We want to readjust how we relate with our fantasies. We want to take them from anything that's impossible, like impossible holy grails that are impossible, like just not, we can't achieve. We want to bring those down a peg to where they're actually achievable. Hang on, what? Big blue in my house. Just want to point it out. I feel like a Pokemon when we assign elements to ourselves. Like be air, earth. Ground, flying. Willie is Landress. Duck is Volcano or Ho-Oh. Ah, yeah, it could be. Duck could also be, I don't know, Arcanine was always my favorite. Sky, Earth, Genie, be Ho-Oh, cause Bird. I'll have to look at my chart. I don't know, I feel like I'm a little air heavy. I'm trying to remember what the other planets are. I don't remember. Like I remember my chart, right? I just can't remember what the balance is. Anyway, our lofty goals are fine. But impossible is not, right? Like we want things that are achievable. We don't want to set ourselves up for failure. Ground fire type, that's the isn't that Camerupt, Nick? Don't they have ground fire? Isn't that Camerupt? Anyway, so we can work on it. Impossible, we don't want that to be, so we just knock it down to where it is achievable. It can still be lofty, but achievable. We want to ask, does what you've been working on since Neptune got into Aries, does it reflect and lead you to the goals that you've been trying to work for? Or have those goals been kind of put on the back burner out of fear, right? This is a time for us to really know who we really are, to really figure out who we are in order to figure out how we want to get to where we want to go, right? So without leveraging the time correctly, right? If we just disregard that and we just kind of run blindly into Neptune retrograde, there's room to become more of an escapist. We can ignore our spiritual needs. We can let those rose-colored glasses get a shade or two darker and have people kind of walk all over us, right? Just completely trample those boundaries. We can be avoidant towards reality checks, or we can have those reality checks hit us like a ton of bricks. So the cardinal placements, early cardinal placements, so 0 to 5 degrees right here of Aries, especially Aries since it's in Aries. But Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn feel it the most. Now you'll note I said placements, not just like sun or rising or moon. I said placements. So this includes your personal planets too, which are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter to a point, right? Let's see. So for instance, right, we have the opposite side of Aries is Libra. The first 5 of Libra will be feeling some of this retrograde. My Libra, or my Venus, is in this first 5 degrees of Libra, so it will be affecting, like, my Venusian goals, right? So at some point, yeah, Venusian things may get emphasized, so, like, love, abundance, materials, things that I have, right, will get emphasized, and Neptune might be asking for a bit of an audit, right? Even without any major placements in any of these signs, you can check which house Aries is in for you. And look over its themes to see which topics you might be analyzing. Hi, Pesto. Hello, hello. William, I don't like that Pokemon. I don't know. I was just thinking of something. I think, honestly, no, I'm not Fireground, but there's got to be other Firegrounds. Being on a ground fire on an island nation surrounded by water was certainly a choice. That's how you're breaking the mold. How can we best lean into that self-reflection energy? Willybug, yes, you gotta check yourself on the 7th, but this is all just for the next 5 months. So it goes from July to December. Neptune moves slow, not in a rush. And, like, yes, it's a retrograde, but it's not... It's one of the ones I worry about less. It's a retrograde I worry about less, right? So, let's see. Got all of those happening. That's what a placement is. As a group, so as a collective, because Neptune is more outward, right? As a collective, we are asking what things like independence and freedom mean, and asking each other what makes good leadership, because it's an Aries. Aries is the pioneer, the one that jumps in first, right? What makes good leadership? We're going to be working towards ensuring our thoughts and actions match our vision for the future. And here's what I say, what I was just saying. Neptune retrograde isn't necessarily scary. It's just a quiet pivot, right? Neptune tends to be kind. Also, art, right? Neptune with dreams and imagination and not reality and, illusion and everything. Neptune is very good at art. This is leaning towards more art to process inner feelings, process inner understanding, and it's less about needing to be original in the first with the concept, right? It is just asking you to express what you know, and that can be beautiful in and of itself. Don't have anything in your 7th house, Pisces, in the 7th. It's okay if you don't have anything in your 7th house. Dolly, I don't have anything in my Aries house either. I think I just have my part of fortune. That's about it. But you'll still be feeling things, right? Like, you're still gonna be... If Neptune is in Aries, then Neptune is currently in your 7th house, not natally necessarily. But we talked about this a couple of days ago on the Discord. Someone was asking me, like, if the house is empty. For me, my experience, right, my example was that Cancer is my 2nd house. I'm already pretty touchy about things of financial insecurity stuff just from upbringing, right? So I get pretty touchy, but that house, my Cancer house, is empty. Like, there is nothing in my Cancer house. And that doesn't mean necessarily that it's not important, right? What that means is that when someone comes through, honestly, I feel Cancer transits pretty hard. I'm so ready for the sun and everything else to be out of it. While Jupiter was in there, I was miserable. I'm so ready to be out of it. It doesn't mean that the empty house means less. All that it means is that when you look at the house, like, okay, so Cancer is ruled by the moon. I need to see what the moon is doing, both as a transit and when I was born, to see how I access that 2nd house, right? And also that means that it's kind of like an apartment that you live alone in, right? So Jupiter is a benefic. Everybody likes Jupiter. It's fine. He expands, he gives, he's abundance, right? So he was through Cancer. I was miserable. But that's because I'm used to having an empty house in Cancer, so it's like literally having an empty apartment, and suddenly I have a roommate, right? And that roommate means well, right? That roommate means well, but it's still an adjustment period. I'm still uncomfortable because I'm used to being alone, right? So that is what an empty house would signify. We do love unnatural goody, but I was struggling with Jupiter and Cancer. And I was a little bit mad because that's my second house, and everyone's like, oh, it means you're gonna make so much money. No, it means I'm gonna stress out about money more than I have in years. Right? That's what that meant for me. Is like my general disposition towards money just grew and expanded, and I started panicking. Right? And I hated it. So he's out. I'm free. Now I just have to wait for the Sun and Mercury to get out. I want my apartment back. I want it empty again. So, what are we confused about, Dolly? I can help. So this is 5 months of Neptune retrograde that we will be working through to help us with our magical girl sequence. We are on Thursday. No. Oh, no, this is the 8th. We have continuous. We're still feeling some of these. The moon will be making this trine for a few hours. Magical girl sequence keeps going up. We have a little T square forming here. That sucks, but it's all right. Let's see. It's nothing exact yet. All right, here we go. The 9th. When you have empty houses, check what's going on astrologically and other signs in the house. Cancer being associated with the moon, so check moon areas. When you have empty houses, when you want to see how it affects you per your birth chart, right? So, for instance, my Cancer house is empty, but my moon is over in the 6th house. So I need to channel 6th house energy to access the 2nd house energy. Now, what you also want to look at when you have an empty chart or empty house is what is currently going through that empty house. So you said, for instance, Dolly, that your 7th house is empty. I assume I can't remember, but I assume that your 7th house is Aries, right? So this house is empty on your birth chart, and suddenly you have neighbors. You have Neptune retrograde, and you have Saturn in here, and they will be in here for a long time. And what I find that does for me is that suddenly I have roommates that I'm not used to having, right? So it might be a little more uncomfortable to have these transits happening for you because you're used to being kind of alone here, right? You're used to working with, for instance, if it was Cancer, with the moon just kind of going all over the place really fast, right? But when suddenly you have roommates, it's a little bit icky, right? So another example, right, is that we know that Nick had a new moon or something kind of knock him to his knees that was in Scorpio a couple of months ago. My moon's in Scorpio. I have Pluto in Scorpio. I have things in Scorpio. I'm used to having roommates in Scorpio, right? So when something comes through, yes, it'll interact. Yes, it might still bring me troubles. Yes, yes, yes. But I'm at least used to having an energy already in there, right? So it might, depending on what aspects it's making, it could affect me more, but I know what the energy of having a roommate there is like, right? So I am better equipped to deal with it. I'm not so blindsided. Right. So when you have empty houses in your birth chart, you want to look at where the house ruler is and see how you access that empty house a little easier. But also when you have transits going through, it tends to light up a little bit. So, does that make a little bit more sense? There's just an adjustment period to getting used to that feeling. Okay. Let me let the lag catch up so that I know that everybody's kind of following along. And if we need, I can break it down a little bit more. Yeah, empty houses are tricky. Yes, it makes sense. Yes. And some people will tell you that empty houses just, quote, aren't a focus in your life. And I think that's just horse hockey, basically. Like, no, it's still important. You just have to look other places to see how it will show itself a little bit more. Empty houses are tricky, very 50-50. Absolutely, Willie. So, let's look at the 9th, because we have our girl Venus leaving good time party friend Leo and going into post-party cleanup Virgo. Is that a perfect right angle? This is a perfect 120 degrees. I think? No. Yes? Hang on. 90 degrees are squares. So when the big red lines, the short red lines are going, these are 90 degrees. So yeah, this is 120 degrees. And then the opposition here is 180. And then the short blue lines are 60. So, okay. So we have our Venus, our girl Venus, coming out of, like I said, party fun time Leo, going into post-party cleanup Virgo. This transit is going to be a little bit less romantic and grandiose than Venus and Leo. I'm sorry for all of my hopeless romantics out there. She'll be here from the 9th of July until the 6th of August. But, you know, she's not quite, maybe not so happy, fun, go lucky, let's go have a good time, but she is very expressive of her love through acts of service. So, Virgo's still pretty sensual. She's an earth sign after all, but Venus here is also, like, very practical, right? She gets very practical. Our romantic gestures, our purchases, entertainment, all things kind of Venusian related are all going to be based more on whether they have a purpose right now than if they feel nice. Virgo is a bit of a spendthrift. She likes to pinch a penny, make it go a little bit further. For Venus and Virgo, romantic gestures will be in the little things that count. Yeah. So like things like being reliable, being kind, helping support a loved one in need, both romantic, both platonic, both everything in between, right? All your types of love. This is how you will see it. This is how you should be trying to give it, right? We appreciate consistency more than just grandiose promises, right? We are looking more for mutual trust and respect with Venus in Virgo. You know, the stars talk in math, specifically geometry. Yes, they do. Math was never my forte, but here I am. I guess geometry was okay. I think geometry was like the only one that I was decent at. Focus. Right now, we're going to focus on the things that require attention to the little details. So things like a deep clean, like getting all the way into those corners. Reorganizing a drawer that you've been ignoring. So if you have like a catch-all drawer that like catches your mail and some scraps of paper and your pins and the extra packets of sauce that you get from the food delivery, like all of that kind of thing, it's a good time to go through it, get rid of what you don't need anymore, right? Maybe a second draft of an art project, right? Things like that. You want to work on things that require precision and not a sledgehammer. So we're looking for little finer details. I'd marry someone who buys me groceries weekly without any prompting. Like, that is hot. It sure is, Willie. Right? So, don't take a sledgehammer to things. This is not the time. This is time for the finer details. This is time to get those, those really, like, funny-looking, glasses that the magnifying glasses that the, watchmakers will wear that are, like, 3 glasses deep, like, magnifying glasses. It's a good time for those. So we're focusing on those. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, like her twin Gemini. So she is also known for communication. So like this, like a lot of other things that we've seen this week, there's a good space for, clearing up a misunderstanding, addressing something that you've needed to sometime in this window is a good time for it. Organization becomes a bit of a superpower with Venus and Virgo. And overindulgence can make you feel guilty. So you don't want to go too far, right? Because you will feel bad about it. Obviously, let yourself live a little bit, but, overindulgence. Virgo doesn't like hedonism too much. Like, a little bit is fine, but we still have a to-do list to get through, right? We can have fun after the fact. Shadow side is all things Virgo, right? With Venus, especially, it can apply to loved ones. You can be too critical. You yourself can be too nervous, you can be too self-defeating, you can be too worried about everything. A suggestion I read, and this will also help you too, Dolly, with the stuff happening with Neptune in retrograde, is keep a gratitude journal to keep the inner critic a little bit better managed. And if you keep the gratitude journal, you can also just keep like a high-level thing of like what's going on so you can get your feelings sorted and see what you need to be working on. I found a quote that I liked. It said, the weeks ahead reward patience, sincerity, and practical choices, making this an excellent time to nurture relationships, improve daily routines, and create a more balanced and fulfilling life. Ah, hey Rue. No, this is astrology. We have tarot on Mondays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So we're talking about the week ahead right now. And if you want, I might do some bibliomancy afterwards where I go through and look at answer questions, but not with tarot cards. Count your blessings before you ask for more. That's true, but also the universe is infinite. Feel free to ask for more once those blessings are counted. Sounds like now is the best time to finally start that gratitude journal then. Absolutely, with Venus and Virgo, it is a very good time. So this is our week ahead. How are we feeling? There's nothing major after this. Honestly, this might be a moment to kind of breathe, adjust to the new things happening with Neptune being in retrograde and Venus moving into Virgo. The weeks ahead after this one get a little bit more hectic. But we will be fine. We have made it this far. We survived this conjunction. We survived the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. We're fine. Any questions? Any concerns? Thoughts? Inputs? Vibes? What have we got? I'm trying to rearrange this camera a little bit. Sounds like a good week. Yeah, that's not super a lot of things. It's a nice week to just kind of step back and figure things out. Like there's a little bit of a pinch point with like authority figures and work and stuff that we might be struggling with a little bit, but oh man, I've had the browser audio going this whole time and I didn't have it turned on here. Now we can have a coffee together. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to just bring your own background music this one. Oh well. We got it. We got there eventually. So. Tarot webcam transition. Let me see if I can get the... Can I do it myself? Here we go. Sources. Hang on. Uh-oh. I'm so bad at this, guys. I'm sorry. Vibes are banging. Yep. Let me see. I don't want to break it. No source selected. Ugh. Hold tight. Let's see. Is it this one? It is this one, but it's not turning on. Uh-oh. Hang on 1 second. Let me go sort this out. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Here I am. Mercury retrograde is in fact at it again. So, but we're good. Everything's good. You'll notice that this is not our usual setup because our darling kitty cat decided to knock over some juice onto the desk, so everything is washed and clean, and now it needs to be put back. So we're doing the mouse mat. Yep, this is Miss May's. This is Miss May's lovely little mouse mat. She is freshly washed and cleaned and shiny. New desk? No, this is the old desk. This is just we had to nice monitor. Thanks, Mary. We got it from a friend of ours. We're playing Yahtzee. We can play Yahtzee. That's how I do diceomancy. I can't remember what it's called, but we roll them bones to do some fortune telling. Anyway, no, this is the same desk as always. We just had our lovely cat knock over some beverage onto the mat, and we had to wash all of it. So we had to till juice, absolutely. We had to wash everything. So it's all dried up, but we haven't put it all back together yet because it's too early in the morning to deal with all of that. Well, it's afternoon now, but it was too early in the morning to deal with all of that. So here we are. Here I am. Same desk, just no mat. So, yeah. So, here I are, here I am, here we are. We have our bibliomancy. I did not bring any art because this seems to be going pretty well. Ask your questions away. We have our usual bibliomancy is where my walkthrough is bibliomancy is where I pick a spot in a book and I find your answer to your question there. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. And then on the Twitch side, I believe it is just a follow. So, here we are again. What am I doing? Where am I? I think I can close my laptop for now. Make a little bit more space. Okay. We're getting there. Baby steps. So, Fox, you were asking about the dice. Are we playing Yahtzee? I don't play Yahtzee, but I can answer, well, I mean, I do play Yahtzee. That was like one of my family games. But I do a little bit of divination with dice. There's a lot of rules to it. That was too much for me to learn all at once, so I kind of play by Yahtzee rules. The better the roll I can get, the better the odds are. So, and I give myself like the 2-roll window. So, it will be put back together soon, Nick. We will get our old desk back, I promise. So, if you want dice questions, you can tell me. Usually yes or no questions are going to be better for the dice, or how many. It's good at how many questions. And then any other question is good for bibliomancy. You can tell me which book you want. And ask away. I go in the order I get them. We don't have to have all of those rules that Miss May has to have for tarot because tarot is so bopping around. So it's a little bit quieter, so just fire away. Dolly has a question. May I have any sort of message on my project? Yes. Morning start. We're working for a goal. Let's see, may I have any sort of message on your project? We have, and this is very sweet, my last cat I named after the cat in here, who is named after a cat in poems. It says, alright, Dolly, here we go. Your tongue has grown strong, your eyes have sharpened, soon all of your senses will be like quicksilver. Okay, so that's just kind of a general state of being. As for Monsieur Minalouche, I expect this to be relative to your projects. As for Monsieur Minalouche, he was my Aunt Vereker's cat. He watched over us and now probably considers it his responsibility to keep a watchful eye on you. No need to concern yourself with his well-being. He's plenty able to fend for himself. If you wanted to appeal to his inexhaustible vanity, then I suggest you occasionally ask him to dance. So this might be someone that you want help with for on your project, right? Like maybe a divine person, a spirit, an entity, or just someone that you like. Maybe you need some help. But either way, they are there to help you, but they just might like it if you say hi sometimes. How many Uma Musume pulls should I do for the new summer banner? Alright, let's see, Duck, let's go. We have... Oh, you got... Ooh. Oh, yeah. Alright, so... We do have a number to count. We have 10, but you also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I think is very fun. So we have 5, 10, 14. 14. Is Neptune and Aries going to be good? Let's see. Let's see. Neptune and Aries. Top card 7 or 10 of Swords. The Lovers. Or the 4 of Cups. Let's see. Neptune and Aries. Is it going to be good? Which book do you want? Do you have a preference? 15? Oh, y'all are so good. Gold Ship or McQueen or both? Griffin, since we're talking about horses. Or are we talking about duck? Gold Ship or McQueen or both? And then, Nick, tell me which book you want for Neptune and Aries. Doji, the book literally says, I do not understand. It doesn't know what you're asking about. So, I assume that was for Duck. Gold Ship is a good pick, Duck. So, let's see, what else do we have? I think I've lost my magic, and I was thinking dice. Okay, Neptune and Aries going to be good. I don't think you've lost your magic. You might just... Something might be retrograded. Let me put it on the map so it's a little quieter. I'm gonna sit it here so it's stickier. I'm sorry you don't get to look at cute Miku. Neptune and Aries, is it going to be good? Oh yeah. I can keep rolling, but I don't need to. Oh yeah. I wonder, hang on. It's still divisible by 3. So yeah, Neptune and Aries, good. Very good. Are we talking about the retrograde in specific? But even still. So, let me know how many it takes for you to get Gold Ship, Duck. I want to know. What else have we got? Ask away. I got 16 of yous. Interesting, yes. So, Helly, I don't know if you've been here on a Sunday one. I will do astrology for the week ahead, and then after that I stay around until about 1 p.m. my time, which is in 45 minutes. And then I can do dice rolls or bibliomancy, where you ask me a question and I ask a book. Yes, you can ask the books. You can ask a book. So, which book do you want? What do you want to ask, Willie? And since these aren't quite as popular as the tarot streams, I don't have quite all of the rules. So, whatever you want to ask, I'll order it. I'll answer it, and then, as things change, if this gets more popular, then of course we can alter. But for now, if I miss a question because the chat goes too fast, just re-ask. Astrology. Is that anything? Astrology instead of astrology? What have we got? Questions. I know Willie's working on one. Let's go. Ad break 5. Upcoming trip from Dolly. Yes, you may. We're going to go through a gate. So let's do... You have to walk through a gate, so you're going on a travel. Upcoming trip. Ooh. Ooh. Here we go. Be careful and pay attention. Yeah, just be careful. It says you need to become exceptionally alert to your surroundings. Do nothing that might draw attention. There's imminent danger all around. I don't think it's going to be that serious, but like just use common sense, right, darling? Just be careful. How would my family take the news about my workplace move in a warmer or further place? Family take the news. Forgetting room is about family. Might be not ideal, but let's see. What does the family? How's the family about the move? Workplace move. I tried to deal with everything at once, speaking in French and forcing my eyes to address her whole face. I said, if it's my grandfather Raphael you want. Afraid he's not here. Can I help? He made, well, he died, but like, we're not talking about anybody dying. I'm afraid he died a few months back. Can I help? She made no attempt to hide her shock. You know him well? I asked them before she could reply. I said, I'm sorry, I'm being inhospitable. Please come in. So it sounds like kind of like a shocked response, but ultimately it will be okay. Let's see. Yeah, just pay attention, Dolly. Like, wear what you want, do what you want. Just pay attention to where you're going. How would my family? Yeah, so they will be shocked, Willie, if that happens. But it will be okay. I saw. Did I see that? What message does the spirit of gold ship for me? Pick the book. Okay. We haven't done Alexandria yet. I'm feeling Alexandria. Let's see what gold ship has to tell. Tell Duck. Okay, Duck, here we go. I've always had a sense that there's another voice deep inside me who is wiser than I am, someone who instinctively understood way more than I ever could. I used to deny its quiet promptings because I didn't want to admit that it existed. Now Sabine says that she's me. Sounds ludicrous, doesn't it? Problem is, I think it might be in some part true. From the moment she first wrote to me, the voice became so insistent, and I started to develop a clarity of purpose. Let's see. A message from the books, please. Absolutely, Heliani. Look at. Oh, wait, Morningstar was that way. I would, from outside looking in, Pearl, I would say probably not. I've talked about this retrograde a bit in the Discord chat, and I said that it's more about asking what you need to be doing if you're thinking of somebody or if somebody reaches out. Like, what aspect of you is that being asked of, right? But we will ask the books and see. A message from the book, please. Alright. Eliani, Simoon has spoken, and you should prepare to depart for Alexandria. However, before your hunger for this man can be satisfied, there are certain precautions to be observed. Move fluidly by earth or water and stop to listen to the wind as it whispers to your whereabouts. When I ran from Sabine and journeyed to the islands, the more I hurried across the sky, the more dislocated I became. By insulating myself from the elements, I felt my innate need to know exactly where I was. I would arrive, step into the landscape, and feel my body slip into confusion. A gentler pace will give you time to evolve. That's a very good message, Eliani. A gentler pace will give you time to evolve. By keeping low to the ground, you will also make yourself less conspicuous to Frelati's dark pains. Savor the path and enjoy the sun. You will pick the same book. I don't remember what book I gave you. Let's see. So we're just gonna do Pharaoh's Gate. What do the books want me to know? Nick, your letter was scary, daunting, and exhilarating. I cannot pretend to have your wisdom or courage, but if you say these things are so, then I believe you. I've arrived and am staying at the room of a friend, Francesca. You and I are so close now, all of my hopes and doubts seem to have mingled into a tight ball lodged somewhere between my heart and belly. Impatience, trepidation, and anticipation are taking it in turns to wash over me. Please don't make me wait any longer. Whatever it is, you're in a hurry. My question is, what do I have to do? You pick the book. What does Sen need to do? What does our darling Sen need to do? What does Sen need to do? Alright, Sen. Thank you for replying so promptly. We've promised you our support, and you shall have it. Let us go to the root of the matter and give you some background to the mythological arena you share with us. If the following comes across as a pedantic explanation, I ask you to bear with me, as I can conceive of no other way of imparting the information you have requested. Isabella, it is our opinion that you are being mistrusted by the images within your shadow sight towards a place of concealment. We need the guidance of your vision. We will not forsake you, nor will Matthew. Your love for one another will multiply, and with it will come the strength. To confront those who wish to turn all of our eyes to ashes. Take good caution, yours in friendship. As far as shenanigans, probably. Absolutely. Goldship would be insisting shenanigans. You're welcome, Helly. I hope that helped. May wants to know how to work with my spirits instead of only listening to others. I have that gift, but I'd love to work with my spirits more. I swear I'm not scary. I'm very huggable. No, I don't think you're scary. I think, you might be feeling things intensely and something might be trying to talk to you. I don't think that was you saying being scary. I think it's just, hey, I want to listen. How do I work with my spirits instead of only listening to others? By taking care of yourself. Alright, I dreamed of an old client of mine, Mrs. Baskers. She was cemented in thick makeup, wearing an alligator stole and a turquoise pillbox hat. She demanded give up your life of idolatry, as in laziness, and become a doctor. I declined. I have my geraniums to look after. The last time I saw Mrs. Baskers for real was about a year ago. She'd come by the workshop to pick up a copy of obscure Finnish verse I'd rebound for her. As usual, her throttled dove voice irritated the hell out of me. She was cooing over the gold leaf on the spine, which I'd been talked into horribly overdoing, when she suddenly came out with, "And do you write, Mr. Her?" Before I could catch myself, I responded, "No, Mrs. Baskers, I don't write. I'm too aware of the difference between writing for the sake of it and having something to say. What pompous garbage I speak when I'm offensive. I'd never tried to write for the same reason I didn't paint, because I didn't have a clue what to say. To me, nothing was ever substantial enough to be worth expressing. I may have had a craft, but the idea of doing anything more personally expressive, irrelevant. And yet, that past night, I was there in my grandfather's studio. I'd been drawing for all I was worth, and for that matter, here I sit, writing these words. So, May, I think you need to just do it. Just practice. Just get used to it. Oh, thank you. They're just regular black. I need to redo them. Try to channel her someday. Thanks for that love letter. Making clarity embrace you. I'd like a message for the week from the forgetting room. Alright. Hi guys, sorry dropping in and out real quick. I wish I could stay longer, but it's work now. You're fine, hun. It's good to see you. Hey, Austin. It's going all right. We did our astrology for the week, and now we're doing bibliomancy. This is Lil Lynn. Miss May is in the chat. And yeah, if you have any questions, ask away. Black suits you. Thank you. I've been goth since I was 13. I had a phase where I strayed, but it came back around. Yeah, Spirit will be like, do it. Yes, absolutely. So, message for the week from the Forgetting Room. One evening when I was about 10, I was in my grandparents' living room with my grandfather and my mother, who was as usual watching TV, when suddenly she looked up and said, "Raphael, why did you leave Spain?" Grandfather was clearly taken aback by the question and became lost in thoughts. When after a few moments he opened his mouth to respond, he found my mother, whose attention span was extremely short, engrossed in her program again. She would do that from time to time, ask a question and then disappear before an answer could come, as if she needed to prove her existence without having to deal with the consequences of conversation. Seeing that she was no longer with us, Grandfather turned to me and very softly said, "I didn't have a choice, did I, Armand?" I didn't know what this meant, but as any child would, I became wide awake when addressed in this adult fashion. Grandfather said, "Armand, let's go for our walk. There's a story I want to tell you." There you go. That's your week ahead. It sounds a little tense, but also quite affectionate. Biblio is just the root word for book. So, I mean, like, either one is fine. Lil Lynn on the mic, that's what's up. Heyo. So, Lil Lynn on the mic, drop your questions. Oh my god, that story is so sad. It is, but I think it's kind of, I think Blood Type might find it a little bit relevant. The Forgetting Room is a pretty sad book, so. But there's spots and everything, right? You can find just fine. And you could read it as sad, or you could read it as, ugh, that's fine. I'm just gonna talk to you instead, right? Like, there's different ways to interpret it. Grandpa's story time is awesome. So given what I know for Blood Type, they're gonna reconnect with a family member and just catch up, right? So, ask your questions. Question is, will they be able to find me a new position at work, and will everything be okay after that? Pharaoh's Gate. Find me a new position at work, and will everything be okay after that? Let's see, Pioneeress. No. I've been okay before. Alright, Pioneeress, let's see. We have a thing, it's a little bit of a warning. New position at work, and will everything be okay after that? He informed me that he had already been to Yates Avenue and found your studio deserted. I must warn you, this man felt inhuman, and whomever he purports to represent does not have your best interests at heart. Tread carefully. It's not necessarily that you can't make the best out of a bad situation, but I would make sure that you don't have any bad actors trying to help you, right? You were curious about that book. You kind of need to forget something. Okay, Helani, what do you want to ask that book? I can answer. What you ask me about? What you want to forget, Helani? Heliani, we can talk about it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, follow on Twitch if you haven't, hang out, ask me the question. I will look into the book. We have another half hour. I can also ask dice. Pick your poison. dice are good for yes, no, or quantity numbers. How many of this do I need to achieve this? And then, hey Jazzy, you're welcome. Other books you've been used for bibliomancy besides the Nick ones, or Willie, I have tried before, right? I'd tried bibliomancy before. I haven't tried any other books recently. When I tried the other books in the previous time, they weren't quite helpful. But, the pieces just seem to fall into place with these book series in particular. Now what I need to do is there's 3 more in this group. I need to get them back, but they're in a suitcase up north. So, eventually I will have the full set. As far as using other books, when I tried, it didn't inherently work, but I'm not opposed to trying again as I have gotten more practice, you know? But right now I just don't have enough books in English to do this with. Alani, will I overcome the situation with a certain person? Let's see. Will S and I reconcile? I will ask after we get to Heliani. Heliani, will Heliani overcome the situation with a certain person? Oh boy. Okay. Here we go. In the past, I'd turned my back on Raphael. I'd been angry with my father who lived such a passive existence, and I'd blamed him for my inability to grasp the moment, but it was me, not my father, who had gone into hiding, etc., etc. During the morning, my preoccupation with Raphael and Duende grew. As I painted, I could hear him talking to me. It was more than just a memory. He fed my mind's eye with cataclysmic images, and I saw Duende as a spark rising from the Earth's core, bursting out through the global crust, into an irradiated sky, a soul without limit, an undefinable expression of nature's unrelenting potency. As the day continued, the atmosphere in Raphael's house seemed to grow thick in contrast to the air outside, which was clear and fresh from the storm. And my physical movements took on the quality of slow motion. After being in an accelerated spiral for days, it was as though I was meticulously watching myself. That doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they're gonna be stuck in your head for a while. I don't know if that's... I don't know, that sounds very Mercury retrograde coded. Jazzy wants to know if S and they will reconcile. Can you ask a question? You sure can, Mara. We're doing some bibliomancy or book scrying. Your word as you see fit. Well, S and you reconcile. Let's do Alex. Where's Alexander? Alright, so Jazzy, remember you'll have to read through the metaphor. I've been thinking a lot about the statue, the door, cartouches, and your school story. If we've encountered more than an artistic fusion between Egyptian and Greek cultures, then why is this symbol of a unity between East and West so important? A while back you suggested that if we found something it would be a compass. Is that what this sculpture is? Some kind of compass? So it might take you a while, you might need some direction, but yes, it sounds like you might eventually reconcile. My question makes sense. No, my question is... I'm glad that helps, Helly. I'm sorry, that sounds tough. What is one specific thing I can do today to step into my unique frequency of abundance? Ooh, very good. Let's look at the Morning Star, because we're looking at guidance. Step into your frequency of abundance. I have to admit, I don't understand why you can't come here immediately. But I trust your instincts, so what can I say? Would you consider it too romantic to think of me as the Pharaoh's lighthouse guiding you safely into port? So it sounds to me like you just need to trust the process, personally. Mara, is what that is saying. I want to give it to you all now, but you have to get to me first. So, trust the process today. Alright, we have, if you ascribe to them, apparently it is the Sirius portal today, like Sirius, S-I-R-I-U-S, like the dog star. Working up towards the Lion's Gate on August the 8th. So you can look into that. Maybe that will help you get some guidance too. It just made me think of it since they were talking about port, and then it's a portal, right? So you have to go towards a port. You have to go through a portal. Give it a look. Yeah, I don't understand why you can't come here immediately. Yeah, right? Uh-huh. Let me help you. Aggressive compassion. Yes. What else have we got, guys? Don't forget to like the video, sub if you need to, follow on the Twitch side if you haven't already. If you can, we have the Ko-fi link to tip your servers. Also in the Ko-fi link, there is a tab at the top that says commission. I can do birth chart readings, and then Miss May is available for private tarot. Either be scheduled as like a meet and chat kind of thing, or she can just do a recording and upload it privately for you. So, come hang out. Gotta pay the bills. This is our job. Happy to work for it. So, what else have we got? 12 more minutes. Ask your questions. Let's get ready for the week. Sip my coffee while I wait. Anybody got any good plans? Then do you want a dice roll? We've only had the one. Please like the video if you haven't. That's right. Guys, can I ask a question? Yes, can. General vibes of the week. Let's see. Go back to Morningstar again since we're talking about the stars, right? Let's take a peek. What is the general vibe of the week? General week vibes. Alright, Willie, this is easy. I feel extraordinary. I wish I could share the changes. I could share the changes I've been passing through. Today should have been disturbing, but I am not disturbed. I am exhilarated by the experience. So that's a very nice, heck yeah, week, Willie. You should be disturbed by something, but you're not. You're just recharged. General vibes for the week, dice. Can I ask a question? Is that the question? Can you ask a question, Nick? Your question, Mara, is Rimbaud, Baudelaire, or Hesiod? That was you yesterday? Alright, well there you go. That just sounds like you're gonna keep riding that wave for a while. Where are we at? Rimbaud, Baudelaire, or Hesiod? Alright, so Mara, I want you to think about this one. I'm just gonna read what this says. I'm not quite sure where we're going with it, so. Do you remember what it was like on the Sickmans? I know you left when you were only 5, but somewhere inside, I'm sure you can feel the sand between your toes and the sound of parrots echoing through the forest. Those memories are still very strong with me, too. Soon you're going to need more of my help. In order to allow that to happen, I want you to let me consolidate our bond. You don't have to do anything other than concentrate on your memory of the islands. I will do the rest. So, see what that says to you, Mara. Any messages for me this month? Let's see. You can ask the dice if you can ask a question. I mean, sure, Nick, that's fine. Alright, we have Pearl. Any messages for you this month? Apart from you, I've shared the secret of my daydreams with no one, yet he asked about my shadow site. Is that extraordinary? Will you write me a letter soon? These old cards, will you write me a proper letter soon? These old cards we send one another are fine, but I need to know more about what's happening inside. I guess that reading their love letters has highlighted the way you and I glide over our feelings. I haven't said anything before because I didn't want to frighten you away. Now I'm wondering if one or both of us are simply scared of real intimacy. So this is Pearl. This is the Neptune retrograde. That is all Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde starts on the 7th and it goes until December. So I think you should look into Neptune retrograde in particular and how it will affect you. There was a lot of introspection in that read. Ask the dice, should I spend some money? High number, yes. Low number, no. Got 2 5s, 2 4s, and 1 3. There's more blue than red, so I'd say if we take blue as good and red as bad, yes. But I would be careful with it since it's only one number split. Ask the dice if you should ask a question. You got 1 2 3 4 5, bud. Ask away. One, two, three, four, five. So whatever that question is, go ahead. You can spend a little, yeah. But remember, Venus is heading off into Virgo, so she gets a little bit frugal. Buy what you need. Maybe a little bit of a treat. But don't go too overboard. Shadow work, big fan of shadow work just for awareness alone, is to stop her manipulation. Yeah, and right now, with the Mercury retrograde, and Cancer, it is very, very good for shadow work in general. I can ask a question? Neat, that is all. Okay, well now you have 1 free question card in the bank. From me to you. From the dice straight to you. 1 question card. Redeemable between now and December 31st. I don't think you have the means to go overboard. No, probably not. But that's the point, though. If you go overboard, it means you don't have the means. And you're doing it anyway. Right? No. So just being aware that you don't have the means to go overboard in and of itself is a huge step in the right direction. Excuse me. What else? What else we got? Here for questions. Ask me about star stuff. What are you going to be looking at during Neptune retrograde? Yeah. What else? There's 12 of these. You can ask questions. Pick my brain. Got Mercury retrograde right now until towards the end of July. Got Neptune going retrograde. That's a lot of room for shadow work. I mean, if you find us when you're 80, Nick, I would be so delighted to answer your question. Is there a set time streams Sunday usually happen? Yes, Yandere. I go live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. But I'm still here for another 15 minutes or so. If you go back, we can talk about the stars then. And you can talk about this, or you can hear me talk about the stars already. Right now I am doing, this is Little Lim, by the way, this is not Miss May. Right now I am doing some book scrying, bibliomancy, whatever you'd like to call it. And then I can also roll dice for yes, no, or quantity questions. So, yes, I go live at 11 in the morning, UTC -3. Right now that is 10 a.m. Eastern. But you don't do fall back, so when y'all fall back, you don't do spring forwards, so when y'all fall back for Eastern 2 hours. If you have any questions, it's not tarot. I do bibliomancy and book scrying and whatever you want to call that. I'm looking for a book recommendation. Does anyone have any? I am currently reading or trying to start reading the Uncensored Dorian Gray. May we have a summary of astrology? I find my brain is Yes, so we currently have Mercury in retrograde. Neptune will be going into retrograde, joining him later this week. We still have our magical girl sequence in full action. So we're changing, we're learning, we're growing. There's the Sun square Saturn in the middle of the week or early this week is going to be a little bit difficult. I like Dorian Gray just in general. I've read the original before, Sin, and it was good. Very dramatic, but I like Oscar Wilde a lot. Excited to read the uncensored version. Anyway, so yeah, there might be one pinch point with that square, but otherwise it seems like a good week for self-reflection, stopping to realize where you're at, starting into the details, because Venus is going into Virgo. And we're not going at things with sledgehammers. We're looking at the finer details, the things that Neptune retrograde will illuminate for us, and dealing with them as appropriate. But yeah, Picture of Dorian Gray is one of my favorite reads, son. So, good week to start figuring out what you want to work on, pick on a project or two, and get into the weeds. With that Sun squaring Saturn, your feelings might get hurt, but it is a comment on the situation, not you as a whole. Do you think astrology is dramatic? It is as dramatic as I want it to be. And I personally do not want all of that drama. So everyone is like, oh god, the conjunction between Mars and Uranus and the world is going to explode. I'm like, I don't want that. So I don't care for it to be too dramatic, right? It is a roadmap that can manifest itself in multiple different ways, right? In the same aspect and look completely different in other people. Like it is a similar theme, you can find that theme, but some things are more dramatic than others. But I find that most of the time, because if things were dramatic 24/7, that would just be exhausting, right? I have a question. What needs to be left behind in order to do what you must do? Still have a feeling, but not the courage to do it. I mean, this is a good weekend. We can do it. Let's see. We're going through a gate. Let's take a look at Pharaoh's Gate. We are doing a thing that needs to be done. What does Duck need to do? This is just expressing sympathy. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's make astrology chill. Yes. I was trying to spread the astrology agenda yesterday, and apparently everyone thinks so. I mean, yesterday could have been very dramatic, but I've noticed, just by and large, like, it's only as dramatic as you want it to be, and I am not particularly a dramatic person, so. Alright, let's see what we have. Duck, doing what you need to do, what you need to leave behind in order to do what you must do. I realize how unbelievably hard it will be for you to depart your home, and I do not underestimate your sacrifice. I only hope that when you leave, you have an easier passage than I did whilst trying to reach the area. I remember only too vividly that the slamming wave, my descent into the ocean, and the brine burning my eyes and nostrils. I agree that you must do everything you can to elude Berlotti. He's a malicious harpy, and his treatment of you and your family is bloody despicable. I still don't quite get what it is he really wants from you and why he has such a preoccupation with our relationship. I love you. So this is mostly a sympathetic ear, but it will be hard to do whatever it is, but you have to do it, right? Fools are meant to be used for good, right? They just didn't vibe. Who didn't vibe with the "you're actually more than your sun sign" thing? I have words, but okay. The moon is turning yellow. Can we talk about that? Oh, good. I'm glad, Duck. Turning yellow. Can we talk about that? I thought yellow was an American thing, but the last I saw it could have just been more, like, gross in the air. I know that the... Man, okay, that's fine. They don't have to get in on it. That's fine. It can be our little thing. We don't have to, like... If astrology isn't someone's thing, then that's not someone's thing, right? I'm not gonna... Like, come hang out if you want to, don't if you don't want to, right? Like, that's just how I kind of look at it, right? Like, it's just... It's there. I find peace in it. I like to know the details. If they want to keep it that superficial, that's on them. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Willie. Like, there is way more than just your sun sign. I think a sun sign is overrated, personally. Like, it's significant, right? But it's not the end-all, be-all. But I'm not going to just fight with somebody who doesn't want to hear me, right? Oh, I wanted to show us before we left. So we got the felt on our wish list. And so I've been cleaning up real life Lil Len. So there used to be a big, fuzzy, like, the felt right here is where it thin. You can see it in spots. I've gone through with new felt, and I've patched up his little cheek on this side. He had a big hole on the back right here. Let's see. Yeah, he had a big hole on the back right here. I just gave it some new felt all over on the back. I put some on his butt. Right, we got a new butt. I'm working on his ears right now, adding some new felt back here. I can't do his whole face, so I'm just gonna have to keep patching at it, right? But I want to do the ears, and then oops, I think I need to touch up a little bit. Poor guy was very, very well loved. Just a little update on where that's at. The OG! Yep! Here he is. Him. This is my little guy. He says hello. And his legs are so long. The ones that... I wish everyone can listen right now. I wish I could... Oh, we hope you're doing okay too, Yandere. Don't worry about it. I'll be around. It's also just a little surprise. I mean, like, if people want to just be that closed off, that's on them, right? Sun astrology's manipulation is literally just confirming you are your drive. I have an Aries drive. Wow. Really deep as a pedal. Sun astrology is a way to make it easier to digest and commercialize. They literally, like, up until the 70s, the focus was on the rising sign, because it should be. But sun astrology is easier because there's a bigger branch of like time. Everyone can figure that out, and then it's easier to commodify and make money off of. You feel like you're in the presence of a celebrity. Oh. Yeah, he's a sweetie. He's a sweetie. Yes, he got legs for days. Lynn got legs for days. Real life Lynn, legs for days. Yes. And then, yeah, we were talking about eventually making little plushy copycats of Lynn and May for, like, merch. We need to talk about merch with the gang at some point. May and I were discussing it yesterday while I sat on the beach and sat outside for the first time in, like, 3 days. So, I need to get out more. Alright, 5-minute call. Any questions? Yes, the little guy, though, is brand new. We are working on it. I will send pictures to the group chat when I'm finished. I think his original job, I think our buddy here's original job, I think it was like a doorstop, because he's got like really heavy beans on his bottom, right? And then it's just legs, so I think he's just a really goofy little doorstop. I love him to pieces. This is my little guy. This is my little guy right here. Right here. Little guy. Yeah, you can see though how I'm working on it. You can see the pins holding down this little corner here. That's my next step. And then I have my needle saved down here. So. The shoes are crazy. Yeah, I love his shoes. These little elf shoes. Little elf shoes. They need redone though. You can see where the felt's wearing out here. But it might be cute to just do a patch overlay on this since it's the shoes, right? Not his actual body. I think that might be cute. The whiskers look fun. I tend to get heavy on the bottom. Sin. We'll be manifesting the merge. Great. Yeah, we need to talk about that on Discord. You should do shorts. Me and Millie were saying to explain why Aquarius is a wind sign, make it make sense. Yeah, Aquarius is a air sign, Scorpio is a water sign. They joke about that all the time. We can say, I would argue that we could say that Aquarius is the water sign of the air signs and that Scorpio is the fire sign of the water signs. But those boots slay. They do, Duck. They absolutely slay. I love little Scorpio being a water sign. Yeah, of course. But yeah, we can talk about that. I've been meaning to look into like Hellenistic stuff more often lately anyway. I found a course that I could take that is just like Hellenistic astrology, so that is astrology that were like as they would have practiced back in the day when all of this stuff like started, but like Egyptian, Greek, that kind of stuff. But I figured I'd want to go to Star School first, like actual proper Star School, before I start delving into the niche. But I thought that would be exciting to like learn all there is to know that I can about like the basics, and then the Hellenistic stuff is part of like practice and stuff. After I get to there, those boots were made for walking. Yep, they got a great roll. So, that will be on my to-do list as soon as we get me to Star School. We are doing a little fundraiser for that on. May's got a little wish list built for us. There is a place where you can donate to. Send me to Star School. Is it this? Is it? I think it's this. Hang on. This? Let's see. Yep. There it is. So, we have a little wish list of things that are needed, and then Star School. Feel free. Browse. Star School does sound like Fire Duck. It's like a 3-year program, and the first year is just the little certificate that gets you the basics and would teach me like how to completely comfortably read a birth chart on my own. And then the next couple of years are like synastry and progressive stuff. It'd be really nice to get into. And the magical keyboard. Yeah. Alright, my dears. If we're all out of questions, we are also all out of time. Don't forget, like the video, sub if you need, follow on the Twitch side if you want to. Well, I want you to, so you don't get it. But we are going to wrap it up here. May will be back tomorrow evening with a tarot stream. And I will get our notes written up and post the Discord about the stars this week for everybody, sometime either today or tomorrow. I will also send pictures of my quiche. So, find me in the Discord if you need me. You can tag me directly. You can just post. I kind of skim through all of it at least. As long as I know you're talking to me, I will try to respond. Spam that heart button. Duck knows what's up. So, I will see you all around. Take care. Have a good week. And holler if you need me. Bye. I really need to make my own stream ended thing. I made a stream starting thing. I'll have to do that later. Okay, bye.